Hey, what's up everybody? I'm back to finish up the last couple of videos where we were working on the 93 till infinity sequence on the EPS Classic. Some things are different right now in my setup. I just got a new desk in my studio, which is really cool. My grandfather built it in 1982, right? So I had to jump at the chance to get this desk, but that's why it took me so long to get to this video, because I had to disconnect everything in my studio and reconnect it, and it took far too long. It took far too long to get to this video, so sorry about that. Let's get back into this here. So I actually listened to the track 93 till infinity. I did this whole tutorial and I didn't even bother to listen to the track before I started filming it. It was only because I already knew the records and I know the song so well, but apparently not that well. So if we listen to this, right? I mean, some things are poking out immediately, right? That horn sample is way too loud. And also, in reference back to the original track, it's an octave lower than it should be. So yeah, we're gonna change volumes in this tutorial. We're gonna change the volumes of your tracks that have already been sequenced, and then we're going to pitch things up and down. We're gonna also duplicate this sequence and then erase tracks, so that we can go into song mode and sort of create a structure for this beat, right? So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Now you'll notice if I wanted to change, and I think the drums are too loud too, right? So that's on track 1. You have your drums on track 1. We have our main sample, right? Then we have our second part of the sample, the chorus, right? This is on this track 3. Then we have all these one-shot samples. We have the horn sample, we have the bass drum, the 808, we have the maracas, and that open hi-hat, right? So we need to change volumes of things, and you know, once I change the volume on one thing, it's going to affect all the other things. So let's start with the drums and let's get those in the pocket. Let's get the drums and the main sample sort of working together, and I might need to do some more filtering on that main sample part here. So what you would think, if you wanted to change the volume of the drums, you would go to Command, Mix, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, Edit, Track, there you go. So we get Mix, right? So if we do that, and then we lower the drums, you would think that would permanently change the drums, but it doesn't. The EPS records automation. So it records whatever volume you put into the sequencer in the first place, right? So it doesn't matter where we put it at the 1, it's going to go back to 99 or whatever you had it recording in at. So if you want to change that, there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can go to Sequence and you can put it on Add mode. Then go back to Track, mix it wherever you want, and then hit Record and Play, and it'll record that automation. But there's another way to do it. So let's go back over here. Let's go back over here. All right. There's another way to do it, which I kind of like a little bit better, because then you can erase all the volumes of individual tracks and then go back and record those volume changes, right? So it allows you time to really manipulate your mixes really well, and then you can finalize your sequences. So let's go about changing this. So the drums have to come down, right? I don't know where they're going to come down to. I think I'm just going to put them at 80. So what you're going to want to do is go Command, Track, Quantize Track, scroll until you see Erase Undefined Track. No, Erase Controller. Now there's other things you can erase. You can erase the velocities, you can erase the key ranges, any program changes, you can merge different tracks together, which is really useful. And then there's the event edit track, which is kind of like a step sequencer. You can really get into your individual steps of what you sequenced and manipulate those. Transpose, yeah, say if you wanted to go like a fifth or an octave up or whatever, you can do that. Scale controller, shift track by clocks, really useful. I'll get more, I'll go into more depth with all of these, but yeah, let's go back to erase controller. Erase controller, remember that. So if we go erase controller, it's going to ask you on track 1, yes. 1 through 4, yeah, we're going to erase the volume on the entire range here. So pitch wheel. So now it's asking you, what do you want to erase? You can erase the pitch wheel, you can erase the mod wheel, you can erase the patch select buttons that you pressed, X control, no, the pedal, you know, the sustain pedal stuff. Volume, let's do that. So now it's asking us, do we want to keep that? Yes. So now when we go back into this, we can go into edit, track, mix. So even when it goes around in the beginning, it won't go to 99. All of that automation information has now been erased. So right now I'm trying to, yeah, I think that sounds about right. And I'm just, right now I'm just trying to gauge the volume between the main sample and the drums, right? So now let's go to the main sample. Also what I want to do is I want to erase, not erase, but mute. Mute. Where is it? I want to mute different tracks here, so I think it's boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there you go. So let's mute tracks 4, 5, and 6 at the moment. So now when we press play, yeah, and sorry if you didn't see that, it was a command and it was edit track until you see sequence. So yeah, you can solo tracks. You can just go play mode, right? Or you can mute. So yeah, let's mute these tracks here again. So now we're just playing with, we're just hearing the drums in the main sample. And already I can tell that there's too much high-end information on the main sample. So let's select that track. Okay, cool. Now we have that sample selected. Let's go to the filter. I really want to get rid of some of the high end on that. So now we have a high pass and a low pass, right? So let's set that high pass really low. I really want that bass line to poke out. So now we're really narrowing this frequency range here. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, I think that'll work. You see, but even now, this main sample sounds a little weak. Now, I'm going to show you a trick that you can use to sort of, once you have this cut off, there's a little bit too much dynamic range. Now, the EPS Classic and the 16 and ASR, they have a function called volume smoothing. And what volume smoothing is it works like a compressor. Actually, it works like an expander, right? So a compressor will take your waveform with your peaks and its valleys, and it'll crush the peaks so that when you listen back, it'll sound like the valleys and the peaks are at the same volume, right? Yeah, it achieves that by crushing the peaks, by bringing the peaks down. What this does is it tries to raise the volume of the valleys up, right? So it works like an expander. And I think the reason why they built this in is because if you were to import a waveform or even just sample something with a long decay, you're going to get a little bit of noise in there. So what you're going to want to do is to compensate for that is to get the decay portion of that wave to be expanded and to come up in volume. So let me show you how that works here. So this is a technique where I can't guarantee a success. Half the time it sounds good, half of the time it sounds absolutely garbage. We're going to Command Amp. Now we're going to go, okay, volume smoothing, one click over. So it's going to now ask us, oh wait, I have to put the OS back on the disk. Alright, so let's hit enter. Alright, so use loop for range. Yeah, in this case we are going to use the loop for the range. So I'm just going to start it right at the beginning. That endpoint is awesome. Okay. Scale depth. How much do we really want to boost this? I think 4.5 is good. Medium, so now you have different levels. Very fine tends to add a lot of noise into your signal. Fine, a little less noise, and so forth. So let's go with coarse. Yeah. So okay, let's do it. So it's going to take its sweet time in doing this, data being processed. So like I said, it really works like an expander. It's just going to, hopefully what I want to do is bring the baseline up, right? So it sounds a little more compressed, so it kind of dominates what we're hearing on playback, so it can sort of compete with the drums a little bit here. So, you know, like I said, if all goes according to plan, this will actually sound good. But like I warn you, it might sound like poo-poo. We don't know. So, alright, data being processed. Cool, cool, cool. You get to see. Alright. Yeah. No, I don't like that. Okay. So, let's see here, volume smoothing. Let's do this again. Use loop for range. Cool. Let's go back down over here. I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to go a little bit more hardcore with this. No, let's just do that. But let's go very coarse. I think that'll sound a lot better. So once again, we're going to go through this whole process. Very coarse actually is a little bit shorter than coarse. If I were to do very fine, it would take a much longer time to process all that data because it's doing it frame by frame practically. Now there's other parameters where this type of process happens. There's different envelope types, and you can also manipulate your waveforms, synthesize loop, bow tie crossfades, all of that good stuff where, you know, when you're creating synth patches are really useful. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, it really brought out that bass line. So now when we press play, I almost want to filter that a little bit more. Yeah, just ever so slightly. Cool. Alright, so now that we have that set, also I think the drums should be a little bit louder. Let's go over here. here. And really? Oh, yeah, because we actually mixed the drums in the mix over here. So let's go to, once again, we're going to go to Command Track. Oops, sorry, Edit Track. Go over here. Sorry, I'm being very nitpicky here. Okay, that sounds good to me. You know, because what we want to do is be able to have this sample, the second part, come over this and be the focal point. So, yeah, that sounds really good. And even then, this sounds a little too... Yeah, okay. Anyways, once again, be nitpicky. Alright, so we have those volumes set. Now let's go back over here. We're going to go to the, remember, we have these muted. So let's unmute this one. Actually, let's solo this one and see if this is in fact our horn sample. Yeah. Alright. So we got a lot of work to do with this horn sample. Not so much. It isn't so terrible. So what I want to do here is let's go over here and mute these. So alright. So track 4 is our horn sample. I really need to bring that volume down. So once again, let's go over here. We're going to Command Track. Erase key range, no. Erase controller, yes. So we're going to go over here. It's going to ask if it wants it on track 4, of course. Pitch wheel, no. Mod wheel, no. Patch selects, no. Pedal, okay. Volume, yes. Alright. So let's keep that. Now let's go over to the, track. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, edit track, sorry. And let's mix that down to, oh shit, there you go, let's mix this down to, I can't even hear it now. Right? Okay, so now, it might sound a little low now, but what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the pitch and make it higher, which in turn will make it brighter, which in turn will make it stick out in the mix more. So, let's go over here, and we're going to go to our wave select. Okay, now, remember, if we pitch it down to F3, it's going to pitch it up an octave, right? So, there you go. But even then, it's a little out of tune. Yeah, I think that sounds good. So now we can really hear that that loop is now out of time. right? That loop that we set. So, oh, is it coming in too soon? Yeah, it is. So we need to expand that loop. Yeah, looking pretty good. Still a little early. Yeah, cool. I like that. Like I said, I never quantized that horn stab, so it's looping at different points, but I kind of like how loose it is right now. Cool. So now let's go back to edit track. Actually, I think that kind of just sounds good where it is. Cool. Let's listen to the chorus. Yeah, sounds pretty good. So now let's go over here and just unmute these tracks. You see, that right here, now the shakers are sticking out because I lowered the drums. So here we go. Once again, we're going to go Command track, and we're going to go erase. Uh-oh, I missed it. Erase controller, 6, yes. Volume, yes. Let's keep it. And now we're going to go over to track, and we're going to mix that at, oh shit, I keep doing that. We're going to mix that at, I don't know, it just needs to come down a little more. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it sounds good. Okay, so now we have the basis of everything that we need. So what I'm going to do now is come up with a song arrangement. But before I do that, I'm going to get some coffee. Oh God, I love you, coffee. You know, nobody tells you when you're starting out being a musician how much coffee you're going to drink. Nobody says this, but I'm going to warn you right now, kids, don't play music unless you love coffee. All right, so okay, so now let's start manipulating sequences and coming up with songs. So edit sequence, yes, cool, right? So we have the one sequence, and then we have our songs. Oh wait, what's that sequence? No, we don't want that sequence. We're going to go Command sequence, create new sequence, delete sequence. We're going to delete sequence 1. Yeah, that's right. We don't need you, sequence. So now we're going to go edit sequence. Cool. So now we go to Command, and did you see what I did there? I went to edit sequence. Now we're on 93 to infinity. That's our sequence. Now we can go to Command sequence, right? So now that sequence is selected, and remember, you have to pay attention to what sequence you have selected at the time before you start doing this stuff. So delete sequence, no, copy sequence, yes. Yes, from sequence 1, of course, to new name sequence 1, sure. Okay, but now we can change the name of this, and just to not confuse ourselves, let's just change that to sequence 2. Okay, so let's do that. So now we have an identical sequence on sequence 2. You would think it would default to sequence 2, but no, we're still on the first sequence that we copied from. So let's go to sequence 2. So now we can start adding things. And so what I want, actually we can start deleting things, right? So how the song starts off, and I'm going to just keep that first sequence as we did as like a backup. That is all of the parts together. And so now everything that we're going to do is we're going to copy from that sequence and create new sequences. But so from this one, I want to delete everything other than the main sample. Right? So how will we do that? Of course, it's pretty. We've already seen that function here. So let's go to the drums. We need to get rid of those. So we'll go to Command, Track, Erase Controller. No. Erase Undefined Track. Yes. Track 1, Command completed. We have the main sequence on track 2. We have yet to use track 3. Track 4 is where we have our horn sample, right? So let's erase that. Erase undefined track, yes. Same thing here. On track 5 and 6, erase undefined track, yes. Track 6, erase undefined track. So now we should just have our main sample soloed. Now, you're asking, why didn't you just mute the other tracks, right? Yeah, you can do that. But when you're in song mode, sometimes you can forget that you have certain things muted and you're not sure where you're at. So in song mode, it's great because it'll tell you what sequence it is currently on that you chained together. So that's why I just erase tracks. Okay, so now we have that. This is our intro, right? So now what we're going to want to do is go, of course, edit, sequence. Let's go back to our original sequence. Now let's go to Command and Sequence, Copy Sequence, yes. We're going to go Sequence 3, absolutely. So boom, alright. So now, of course, let's go back to Edit, Sequence. No, not that one. Let's affect that one, right? Because we still have our Sequence 2, which is just the solo. And now we have Sequence 3. Of course, Sequence 3 should be the sequence with the chorus. So now we're going to be recording something here, right? So let's go into our parameters here. Boom, boom, boom. Internal, sweet. Let's go click on, right? And then let's go count off, yes. We're going to go to add, of course. So here we go. We're going to add the chorus part in now. Yeah. That's it. That's all we need to do. So now, of course, let's take the stupid click off. Alright, let's take the intro click off. Alright, let's go back to our sequences. Alright, so this is our chorus. Let me turn this up a little bit. Sorry, it might be a little too quiet. Alright, cool, so that's our chorus, right? So now we have our intro, our original sequence is our main verse beat, and now we have our chorus beat. So the next thing we need to do is just have the drums and the aux tracks with the horn stabs, right? That's why I put those on one shots on different tracks. So let's go back to our original, okay? let's go Command, copy sequence, yes, and sequence 4, yes. So now let's go back to Edit, Sequence. Let's go to sequence 4. Right? And so all we want to do is erase this track here, our main sample. So Command, track, erase undefined track, track 2, yes. Right? And so that should be all of our parts. So that should be all of our parts now. So what we're going to want to do is go into song mode. So let's go back into Command, boom, 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 edit song steps. This is what we should be on here. So let's go yes, insert 1 says undefined, but this we're going to put our first sequence on here. So that would be sequence 2, right? And so now, oh wait, I thought it allowed you to listen to it. Apparently not. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So now we're going to go over here and, oh wait, enter. Alright, cool, cool, cool. After it finishes that sequence, it wants to go to the next sequence. So now we're going to go with our verse and we're going to hit enter, right? So now after it does that, I want to repeat that, right? I want to go 2 times on that. So let's do that. And now let's go back to actually let's do the chorus, right? So let's do the chorus, boom, 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 and then after that, actually, you know what? I want to do another chorus because I'm just feeling crazy. And so now let's go to the breakdown, and then after that we can go to the original. Let's go to the original. Let's go to the chorus. Then let's do another chorus. Cool. All right. So now we can go into song and go. So this is our loose structure now. Right? So yeah, so I mean this is how you sequence a song here. The only other thing that you're going to want to do after you're done doing this is now you're going to want to save your sequences, your additional sequences that you created, and then you're going to want to save your song so everything is all together, right? Everything is a set. But yeah, that's it. I mean, this is how you make a beat, and it's in loop mode. So this is how you make a beat on the EPS Classic. You know, it's just as simple as that. Hey, I hope this helped. Any questions? Hit me up in the comments. Definitely like the video if you like it. If you don't like it, I don't care. Hope this helped, man. Peace.